A century ago, the known timeline of human life in the Americas was surprisingly short. Without physical evidence to prove otherwise, many researchers assumed people had only arrived on the continent a few thousand years ago. That understanding changed in 1929 near the town of Clovis, New Mexico. While excavating an ancient lakebed, archaeologists uncovered something that disrupted the established history of the region. They found razor-sharp stone spear points with a distinctive grooved base. These tools were crafted with a level of precision that hadn't been seen in other local artifacts. When scientists analyzed the site, the results were startling. These weapons had been used more than 13,000 years ago, placing humans in North America much earlier than anyone had previously documented. Because the first of these points was identified near the town of Clovis, this ancient population became known as the Clovis People. This single physical discovery provided a fixed point in the past. It moved the study of early America away from speculation and into a tangible, trackable timeline of human history. North America 13,000 years ago was a world of extremes, characterized by massive glacial ice flows that covered much of the northern continent. In this environment, the Clovis lived as nomads. They functioned in small groups that traveled light, following the seasonal movements of the animals they relied on for food. Survival depended on their spear points. By chipping a long groove or flute into the base of the stone, the point could be securely attached to a wooden shaft, creating a weapon that could withstand the impact of a hunt. Shaping these points required specialized knowledge. A hunter had to apply careful pressure and precise strikes to remove thin flakes of stone without snapping the entire tool in half. This technology was incredibly effective. Identical fluted points have been found at sites thousands of miles apart, from the deserts of New Mexico to the forests of the East Coast. This widespread use of the same tool design indicates that these humans weren't just isolated bands. They were part of an interconnected culture that successfully navigated a vast and difficult landscape. The strength and sharpness of the fluted point were necessary for one specific task: killing the largest animals on the planet. They tracked Ice Age megafauna, specifically mammoths and mastodons. These animals provided enough meat, hide, and bone to support a group for weeks. They also targeted the ancient giant bison, a creature much larger than modern bison, with horns that could span 7 feet from tip to tip. Hunting these giants was a coordinated effort. It required a group to work in unison, using the landscape to corner an animal before moving in close enough to strike. By mastering the hunt of megafauna, the Clovis secured the high-calorie diet necessary to survive the cold and expand their reach across the continent. This map shows the traditional Clovis first theory, arguing these hunters were the first to cross the Bering Land Bridge. However, older sites in North and South America show other groups lived there between 14,000 and 16,000 years ago, well before Clovis points appeared. These pre-Clovis tools often lack the signature flute and precision of the New Mexico finds. Comparing these different styles helps researchers piece together a much older and more varied history of human migration. While they may not have been the absolute first to arrive, the Clovis people represent the first culture to establish a truly continent-wide presence. Their survival strategies and tool designs provided a successful template for living in the Americas. As they moved and interacted with other early groups, they helped shape the cultural and ancestral lineage of the populations that followed. The impact of a culture is seen in the long-term systems they leave behind. By creating the first widespread network of communities across North America, the Clovis set the stage for our next look at how early people began to build permanent daily lives.